What's up, guys, and welcome back to an episode of the Marino Challenge Series and the end of another season in Serie A. And things have gone pretty well, pretty good, but disappointing, but good. Like, I can't be too disappointed because it's very good, sort of thing. Like, you've got to keep things in perspective at all times. But I'll reveal all as the episode unfolds. I did come back for a, I don't know what did I call it, 24.5, something like that update, because I forgot to include the coefficients and some various other stuff in the episode 24. I think it was episode 24. So I showed that. So if you've not seen the semi-episode, if you want to call it that, then go and check that out, because I do show that stuff in that episode. I won't be showing any international team stuff because there's been no international games, so nothing has changed. So there's no reason to show any of that, because nothing's changed between now and the previous semi-update. So I won't be showing that. Fixtures, things went really well. Straight after I think it was the Catania game, was it, the last episode? Catania, was it Catania? Catania, after the Catania game, literally straight afterwards, a couple of days after, Wallace was injured for 3 months. But things went really well, as you see. Didn't lose a game until we played Inter Milan, beat Ascoli in the first leg, 2-0 of the Cup. Champions League beat Lyon away 1-0 in the first leg of that. Then lost to Ascoli 1-0 in the league, but then went really well again and beat Lyon overall on aggregate, drew them 1-1 at home. So we went through on aggregate against Lyon in the Champions League through to the quarterfinals. Then things really went a bit wrong because we went to Ascoli with a 2-0 lead and strong team, full strength team pretty much. Well, not entirely full strength, because I was thinking about the Atletico Madrid game coming up, and we lost 5-0. 5-0. I mean, it was quite spectacular the way the team just completely fell apart. I'm still scratching my head as to why we can play really well against Lyon and beat Lyon, who are an amazing team, obviously, beat Palermo, who are no mugs, and then lose 5-0, yet respond and beat Sassuolo, whatever the name are, 3-0, and then Atletico Madrid 2-0 in the first leg. I can't get my head around quite how we can be not inconsistent, because we are consistent. You can see we're consistent, but that when things go wrong, they go really wrong. They can do. But anyway, I got another taste of head scratching, because we beat Atletico Madrid 2-0 away in the Champions League. Then we beat Genoa 2-0. Then we played Atletico Madrid and we lost 4-2, therefore going out on aggregate. Now, this has to be, without doubt, the biggest bullshit of a game I've ever played on this game. It was incredible. It was truly, truly, truly incredible. We had a player injured, and we scored. We went 2-2. That was fair enough. It was 2-2 at one point, and I was thinking, okay, 2-2. Atletico Madrid, massive club. Of course, they're going to come back. Of course. And then we went 3-2 down, and so we're losing on aggregate. And I thought, okay, that's fine. Then we equalised, brought it back to 3-3. So we were 2-1 down, 3-1 down on the night, and then we scored, and then we were winning. Now we scored. When do we score? 88 minutes. There was like 1 minute of injury time. 88 minutes we scored. The game was done. I set everything back to defence. And then, boom, just like that, they just so, by absolute magical coincidence, just happened to go and get a goal. I was raging, to say the least, because it was just the biggest. Everything was almost like going for Atletico Madrid to make them win. I mean, we were denied a penalty. It came out in the after match. It says San Marino denied a penalty and all this sort of bullshit. It was just, I was so unhappy. But then we drew with Roma 0-0, and that was a good result, because Roma did go on to win Serie A, just so you know. Then we beat AC Milan 3-1. Beat Parma 3-1, beat Napoli 1-0. That was awesome. Then we in a way, this was also another catastrophic blow-up, because Roma were 5 points ahead of us going into this Pescara game. They lost to Cesena on the day, and that meant if we won, we could get it back to 2-point deficit, and so that meant going into the final day we could still win Serie A. And Pescara finished really low in the table, had a really bad season. Bezos missed a penalty. We had 3 players injured, as you can see here. And we just so happened to lose the game 1-0. So I was a bit disappointed about that, because that felt like I'd been cheesed a little bit. But I'm not going to Not going to rage about that one. But then we played Udinese, and we were. It was a good game. 3-3 was a good game. Udinese did well. Bezus responded from his missed penalty to get a hat trick in that game. So overall, good season, really good season. We finished second, narrowly missing out the title by 5 points in the end due to us losing that Pescara game and drawing against Udinese. Napoli got third spots, but we get the automatic group stage Champions League spot again, which is awesome. Because I don't really want to go going through qualifiers. Udinese, who we drew with, obviously got fourth. Milan got fifth. Juventus down in sixth. Completely had a catastrophe, just a terrible season. Ascoli also won the cup, retaining it against, I think it was Inter Milan they retained against. So we did lose to the winners of the competition, retaining winners. So it's good. That's going quite well for them. Inter Milan down 8th, relegated. Now this is interesting. Lazio, Fiorentina, and Catania all went down. So you see Pescara there, 15th. They were not. They were just 4 points off relegation. So we shouldn't be losing to them. But hey ho. But those three going down, particularly Lazio and Fiorentina, is really quite surprising that they went down. With regards to Europe, Champions League was won by Barcelona against Manchester City. Against Bayern Munich, sorry. They beat Manchester City in the semi-finals. The semi-finals, Bayern Munich went on to play Atletico Madrid and beat them 6-5 on aggregate. So a bit of another fluky game happened there, actually. Barcelona beat AC Milan and then obviously went on to win the competition overall. Now you got to see Barca's season. It's just incredible. It's just it's ridiculous, quite frankly. Like, it's realistic in the sense that they are this good. Obviously, they have been in very recent past, but this is ridiculous. They lost to Bayern Munich in pre-season, and which is quite funny because they went on to beat them obviously in the Champions League final. But then it's almost like spot the red dot. They lost to Ajax and they lost to Granada in a dreadful. They had a dreadful December, truly appalling December with those two defeats, because then they didn't go on to lose a single game. They didn't lose a single game after December. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Like, how good is that team? But they were obviously a little bit pissed that they lost the title to Valencia because they were looking for a clean sweep of it all. But whatever. They went on to demolish Valencia in La Liga race. Premier League was won by Chelsea for a third consecutive season. Liga is now getting quite boring because PSG won it by 17 points again. Bundesliga was taken by Bayern Munich by 9 points, and obviously Roma won our division by 5 points. But I've been saying for a while now Roma would be winning Serie A very soon. They've got a very good squad, so the fact that we can retain our second spot is very good. We've just got to push on. It's quite daunting to think that to improve, we have to win Serie A, and to improve in Europe, we have to make the semi-finals of the Champions League. That's quite daunting to think. We're doing it all on a low budget. But interesting development is the chairman is now happy to stay, which means he'll hopefully be selling us very soon. I can only hope to a tycoon, but I've got no control over that. So whatever comes our way, we'll take. What else to show? Stats. I just thought it'd be quite interesting to show that we actually average attendance is obviously bottom, just under 10,000. So we got the lowest attendance, but attendance by capacity 99.11%. So let's just say 100%. It's you'd round down to 99, wouldn't you? But whatever. It's basically full. I mean, every game I'm getting messages, barring one game. I think one game. No, we sold out every game. Did we sell out every single home game? No, we must have not sold out one. Only one home game wasn't sold out this year, which is pretty cool to see. I did ask for a new stadium just before I did this episode, but they said it's not going to happen, which I'm not surprised considering they've just done all the expansion to it. But with regards to player stats, top goal scorer was Cavani on 21. Icardi got in at 9th on 15 goals. That's good to see. Percy is down in 33rd, but he still chipped in with 8 goals despite only coming in January, which is good to see. He was scoring quite freely. Assists. Matilio is up there in joint 4th with 12. behind the top one of 19. So it's good to see we got players who are all doing really nicely. There's no one standout player this year really. I mean, Icardi did 25 games, 11 bench appearances, 20 goals, 5 assists, 5 man of the matches, 7.26 rating, which is good. Hopefully, hopefully I'll be able to get him on permanent, but I'm not too optimistic to be honest. Mbakani, even not really playing this year due to his age, a declining physical state after last year's heroics. 3 starts, 13 bench appearances, 9 goals, 2 penalties, 3 assists, 1 man of the match, 7.19 rating. That's not bad from a 34-year-old. I mean, come on. It's good to see he did okay. Adrede, again, I failed to play him a lot because of the other guys' form. But 3 starts, 5 bench appearances, 3 goals, so it's a decent return in the games he played. 7.07 rating, so he's still 24, so he can definitely take over for Mbakani if I choose to get rid of him this summer, which I most likely will, because he's just not going to be playing much longer. I can't see. Bezus obviously had an amazing season. I probably butchered his name, but I really don't care. 27 starts, 12 bench appearances, 11 goals, 6 penalties, 4. I'm not 100% what that means. 4 bench appearances, 4 penalties off the bench, or 10 penalties in total. Either which way, whatever. 4 assists, which is not amazing considering he's attacking midfielder, so he should be getting more assists. But 7.21 rating, so it's good. He's only 29, so he can still play certainly a lot longer. I mean, this is Italy, so players go until they are old. Boyd played obviously really well again this year. McEachran didn't play too many games this year. He was injured for a bit though. Sanson played okay whenever he got a go. Ilic, whenever he played, he was a bit of a tank. Adre, oh my god, Benedetti. The guy goes from strength to strength. He just doesn't know. 43 starts, 5 goals. 9 man of the match is 7.78 rating. The guy is getting. He's not quite his best season ever. I mean, his best season was a couple of years ago, and he got 10 goals, which is just ridiculous. But he really is just a god for us. Liali did a very good season for us. He's still developing a little bit, as you see. 50 starts, 56 goals conceded, 17 clean sheets, which is very good considering we are San Marino, and 7.06 rating, and Italian international as well. He's not played yet, but he is in the squad, so that's good. Wallace had a 3-month injury, but whenever he was playing, he was very strong for us. Zé Eduardo, he got injured as well, as you can see, he's injured now. But 34 starts, 5 goals, 1 penalty, 4 assists, 1 man of the match, 7.42 rating. This guy is now a bit of a legend at this club now. Matic, when taking over from Zé Eduardo, despite wanting to go in January, I kept him, and I'm pleased I did, because 14 starts, 8 bench appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist, 1 man of the match, 7.33 rating. This guy really did step up to the mark to replace Zé Eduardo when he got injured. Players I'm looking to... Oh, Percy. Did I show Percy stats? Percy. 23 starts, 2 bench appearances, 13 goals, 12 assists, which is incredible for a striker to do that, although I did play him on the wing a little bit, but majority of his... I mean, I'd say... Can we see exactly how many games? Probably can, but I really can't be bothered to go into all of that. In fact, I'm certain you can, but 7.46 rating. This guy is definitely one for the future. He'll be leading the strike force going forward. With regards to players, we've got 13.3, just under £14 million of Champions League television revenue, which is good. Squad bonus payout was only 350,000, so we got huge amounts of money. We've got our Champions League spot for next year. Finances, in case anyone's interested. Finances, we're making this projected balance is just over 16 million, which is awesome. Got all these different things. If you want to pause and look through any finance we've got, feel free. Anything else? Transfers. I don't think I've got any deals going through. Player search. How are we doing for time? Quickly, actually. 14 minutes. Right, I'll wrap this up in a sec because I don't want this video to be too long. Transfers. With regards to transfers, players I'm looking at, have I got any on my shortlist actually? I'm going to go to my shortlist because that'll tell me what I've got or I've been looking at. This guy, new gen, he looks really good, but whether or not these guys, I mean, they're on my shortlist, but 99%, all of them, in fact, all of them probably won't be joining us. It's interesting actually. This guy, we've had him on loan before, with us in Serie A, and he was okay then, but he's developed even further. So I'm looking to get him, but just over 10 million is going to be really quite difficult to stump up that kind of cash, but we'll see what happens. You never know, we could get a takeover and things could be fine and dandy. But I'll come back for the start of the season, and another good season overall. Recap, another good season. Really, really impressed with the way we did in the Champions League. To quite harshly, I think, to go out in the Champions League to Atletico Madrid, but these things happen. Champions League, Serie A did really well to finish second again. It's quite funny to see Juventus catastrophically fail this year. Cup to go out so spectacularly against the eventual winners. Ascoli was quite disappointing because we shouldn't be losing 5-0 to them. But overall, I think a very strong season, good showing for us. So I'll see you guys for next season.